What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm playing a little mid lane Countess. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Auto Shield, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly, Overpowered Spells for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Cull the Weak, Font of Experience, Mana Flow Acolyte, Astral Leap, Invader Mage, Thaumaturgy, Atomic Soldier, Shadow Dancer, Awaken the Arrg, Corrosive Walker, and lastly, Grinning Spectre. Now, this was recorded on our second week of our Sunday Fun Day match, and this is private matches we do every Sunday. And if you're interested in something like that, join our Discord. I try to make it on at 2 o'clock Central on Sundays just to, have a really fun match. And we end up playing 2 or 3, and then afterwards, when people actually have to take off, we kind of just go into 5 stacks. So if you're interested in something like that, please join our Discord, guys. I'd love to play with y'all. Well, again, this is our Sunday Funday match, so it's 5v5. We all know each other through Discord, and we're just kind of playing around, and, we are definitely having a try-hard match, because, it's much funner to kill your friends than it is to kill strangers. So I end up going with Countess. Now, I have not played Countess since the day 1 of version 42. I played her and I went, wow, they took a lot of the skill out of her, which she's always been my favorite hero. But, I don't know, with that removal of the skill, I'm not near as in love with Countess anymore. I think anybody can really pick her up and play her fairly well. And there's so many different ways to build her. You can build her with, red zone and just absolutely delete people, or you can have invisibility and delete people. It really just depends on how you want to build her. Now, I went with the pretty standard caster deck. If you saw at the beginning, I call it any caster. So this is a very standard deck. You've got, your typical beginning cards. That Atomic Soldier really cranks out the damage, and then late game you get into that Shadow Dancer or even Corrosive Walker, which for those of you who don't know, Corrosive Walker works great on Countess. You can use it and then do your ult and you just chunk damage away from people. So Countess is just kind of an all-around great hero right now, and she's a lot of fun to play. So this is a good deck, and hopefully I can show off some of the plays that I'm able to make in this match. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, Shadow Slip instantly kills minions. And this is great for using this as a tool to set your lane and, make progress and then be able to rotate, because that's where Countess really gets her farm from, is from rotating. And you can see here, we actually rotate to this Shimby. I go ahead and just Shadow Slip to her because she was under tower, and, I just want to close that distance. I don't want her to run deeper into the tower, so I have to chase. Now, their gadget did rotate over to try to deal with me, but I'm just going to simply run away from this. If you see here, I'm not even turning around. Now, I am calling for some assistance. We just had a little bit of a miscommunication, but I do have enough points to throw on Healing Towers. So if we do get some rotation, with me hitting as hard as I do, we should be able to take someone out. And I'm just kind of waiting for that rotation, like I said, but it doesn't end up actually coming. We do take Severog out, but, I would have liked to survive that. I really didn't want to go down. I thought we were going to have some jungle rotation, but, it is what it is. We get our first death, but we are 2-1, so we're starting off pretty strong. Now, once I spawn back in, of course, I'm going to head down to mid lane. I definitely need to continue my farm, and you can see here I was trying to Shadow Slip the Siege minion because you do instantly delete Siege minions and even Super minions as well. But, by the time Super minions spawn in, you can probably one-shot them with your abilities. But we missed that, but no problem. I'm going to go poke this tower a little bit. I did have a little bit of vision on the enemies, so I'm saying, hey, I could probably poke a little bit. Gadget did show up, so, I instantly dip out. There's no reason for me to stay. This is going to allow me to secure river buffs. Now, I do get the orange one, and then I head over to the opposite side to check it, but it was picked up by one of the enemy heroes, so no problem at all. But I'm going to use this opportunity to rotate towards any other lane. You can see, as the mid laner, I do have a lot of options to rotate when that lane is being pushed. It's unsafe at the moment, so there's really no reason for me to wait there. Now, Gadget does end up actually getting that lane push, so I just need to head out. I'm going to end up poking Gadget a little bit. I get my ult off. I do have this orange buff, so I might be able to do some damage. Now you can see I do shadow slip her bombs, and that's one thing you can do as Countess. You can negate a lot of damage from enemies. For instance, this Arrg, you can shadow slip out of his root, things like that. You can also use it like I just did there as an escape mechanism where, I got a good chunk of distance on that Arrg to where he couldn't hit me anymore. But Countess is one of the weakest heroes in Paragon, so you definitely have to play a little more cautious. She does have a great sustain mechanic with that siphon where you heal when you kill things, but if you're not killing things, you're not getting heals. So you have to play very cautiously. And just remember, she is an assassin. You want to show up to unexpected heroes, do your damage, and then get out. You don't really want to face off with heroes. And that's another reason why I've kind of said, I'm not just a huge fan of the changes, because she can just straight up face off with people, the amount of damage she's actually able to put out. But no problem at all. Now, I am going to head out and pick up those river buffs. You can see I've got my lane pushed again. This is really going to allow me to, take these great tools away from the enemy. You definitely need to secure river buffs as much as you can if you are in that mid lane position, and it would be nice to have some help from the jungler, which we did in that case. Now, Gadget was not paying attention just an entire lot. I'm able to do a little bit of damage to her, and with this red buff I'm doing even a little more, but I do have to be careful. I just wanted to kind of get that poke. You can see Arrg is right behind me, so I do need to avoid him as much as possible. Gadget does head over, and I'm kind of in a bad situation now. I need to be very careful. I decided using that shadow slip at that point to rewind was probably not the best option, so I just end up dipping out. Now, I am calling for assistance again. You always, if you're in comms, call for assistance. Let your team know, hey, I need some help, guys. And sure enough, my Arrg does head over. I was going to hopefully get that Gadget, but she ended up running the other way, which was a great call on her part. And I'm going to go ahead, shadow slip that Arrg. I'm able to juke him out, and this is going to free me up to head back to lane and just kind of continue my farm. Now from here, I'm just going to get this lane set. I'm going to head back to base, and hopefully we will be able to make some progress. I do throw on that Invader Mage, which is huge on Countess. Getting that ability pin, you can do tons of damage. And I'm kind of waiting to see what's going on here. You see Iggy dipping out there. He was half health, low on mana. I would have liked to engage on him and actually take him out, but no problem. We do head over, and we are able to take this Gadget out. Me and Grux do an absolute great job there. I did misclick my Shadow Slip. I wasn't trying to use my Shadow Slip there, but we end up taking that out. Now, I don't dive the tower with Grux, because, I would probably take damage before he would, and I don't want to take tower damage. As Countess, that would absolutely delete me. He kind of chases that Iggy around, and I see my opportunity. I go in, get my E, and then dip out, and that's exactly the type of plays you want to make as an assassin. You don't want to be in the front line. You want to see your opportunity, do your damage, and then get out. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. From here, I'm going to head back to my mid lane. Of course, Gadget's going to be counter pushing me, so I need to clean that up. You can see we do pretty good amount of damage. I am able to shadow slip that bomb, which, that saved me. Gadget threw her ult down, and I'm just going to dip out. There's no reason to engage onto that Gadget anymore. Now she does head over to me, and we are able to get that Dark Wake on her, but, she was running away. I'm not going to engage on that anymore. we do end up actually taking down this mid-tier 1. And, you know, this was great. We're able to kind of juke that gadget out. Now, me and Severog had a little bit of a miscommunication there. You can see I was able to shadow slip that root right there, but, you know, Severog is right behind me. So I'm going to do my best to get out, and I'm kind of waiting for my Severog to show up to kind of peel for me, but we are miscommunicating a little bit. I probably should have just ran away, but I end up going for that buff in case I need to take that, you know, use another ability. And you can see I'm just kind of juking around. I'm running around in circles. Our Severog does end up showing up to this mid position. So this is going to allow me to actually get out. And you can see you use that shadow slip to reposition yourself. And this really allows you to, you know, outplay the enemy or out-juke the enemy. But from here, I need to get out. I do have mana to spare, but I'm not going to risk it. One gadget bomb would absolutely erase me. Now, I am able to put on Atomic Soldier, so I should be hitting pretty hard now, and I do end up cleaning up my wave. You know, it is 13 minutes in, so I am going to go ahead, grab those river buffs, and I actually pick up purple buff. And y'all know, with purple buff, you need to kill somebody. And so we head over to this Aurora. We end up using our ult to engage. And again, I misclicked my shadow slip, but no problem. Now, Gadget does stay in to try to deal with me. We are able to take her out. And, you know, we're starting off very strong. We're currently 5-1, just 14 minutes into the match. You know, we're having a very strong match. But you can see Countess is very weak. I do get this lifesteal whenever I kill minions, but once you're out of mana and you're pretty low on health, you have to be careful with Countess. And so, you know, going back to base is not that big of a deal, but you need to make sure that your lane is not pushing against you, which I think that's one of the more common issues I see with Countess players. They choose to go back when they're low instead of actually making sure your minion wave is not going to push into your tower and then taking the opportunity to back. You could see right there, by doing that, I'm going to safely be able to get back into lane after I go back to base and not have to worry about my lane pushing. But if I would have just backed instantly, we would take significant damage in this mid tower. Now, from here, I am heading back to mid, and they had a Shimby carry this match, which, you know, they were just trying something new out, and I'm not threatened by Shimby at all. You can see me, I'm chasing her, and she is running. So we end up actually going in on this Aurora. Now, we did a good chunk of damage to Aurora, and, you know, both of these heroes are going to have to be very careful of me because I am capable of doing tons and tons of damage at this point. But they do have a little bit of a rotation, so I need to watch out. Now, Shimby is low. You can see her. She's taking off. She's pretty much out of mana, so no problem at all. I go ahead and warn my off lane, you know, hey, you've got some enemies heading your way. Just be careful of that. I'm, you know, just going to continue doing my Countess things. I'm shadow slipping those gadget bombs, things like that. Now, Gadget does get caught out with, or our Severog actually comes in and does a phenomenal gank on her, and we're able to take her out with that Dark Wake. You know what? I've got these couple of power cards on, so I am really hitting hard at the moment. And, you know, with a hero like Gadget against someone like Countess, it's very difficult because I can very easily slip her bombs. And, you know, that was one reason I wanted to go Countess in this mid lane because, you know, I kind of knew that the enemy team, they would probably play Gadget mid lane. So, you know, unfair advantage, but it is what it is. Now, I do get caught out a little bit, but you can see I'm not taking a whole lot of damage. And if Severog were to actually head over and engage me, we would definitely take him out. Now, we had a bit of a miscommunication right here. I was saying, hey, we need to take this mid inhib, and Durango and Grux actually head over to try to snag those kills. But it would have been a much better option to actually get this collapse in this mid lane, because we could have safely taken down this tower, and, you know, it would have been no issue at all. But instead, I'm actually going to go down here. I could have got out, but, we did have some teammates engaging. That was probably not the best choice on my part, as well as, our team going for those kills over securing objectives. And I think that's kind of one issue that we have with, Paragon as a general community. Everybody wants to get kills, but Paragon is much, a game much about securing objectives. So hopefully y'all can learn from this. That tier 2, that easy tier 2 ended up being a tier 2 and a kill for 3 kills. That it definitely was not worth. So next time, guys, we definitely need to focus on the objectives and less on the kills. Now from here, I'm again going to head back to that mid lane. Our lanes are pushed up pretty far, and so right now is the perfect opportunity to pick up Raptors. Now I meet up with our Murdoch, and I say, hey, follow me. We're going to head to Raptors. We do have a couple of newer heroes in this match, and so, this is one really good opportunity for the newer heroes to kind of learn, positioning, things like that. We can actually kind of help everybody out. And so if you are new or, you don't feel that you're the best hero, don't feel bad about joining and saying, hey, guys, I want to play with y'all. We accept anybody, really. It doesn't matter your skill level. It doesn't matter your elo. This is all about learning and having fun, guys. So, again, if this is something that you're interested in, definitely come and play with us. Now, I head in on this Shinbi. I was worried about Shinbi taking out our carry, but Shinbi's actually able to take me out. I was way too low to engage on that fight, but since our team did engage, I need to be there to help out. But we end up actually just having a really bad fight. It was spread out everywhere. We did, I think, manage to help, but we should not have engaged on that. No, I did express that in comms, but again, if our team decides to do something, the type of player I am is I'm going to go do it. I'm not selfish at all. I don't mind dying if, that's what our team needs. But that was a poor choice. We should have definitely made a better choice. But it is what it is. No problem at all. I am working my way towards that Shadow Dancer so I can really turn into the assassin I need to be. Now, once we spawn back in, we've got a huge presence in our safe lane, and you can see I head to the jungle, but I say, hey, we've got a lot of people heading in. Now, I do end up shadow slipping that gadget bomb, but, that really put me in a bad position. I decided just, hey, I'm going to ult. Might as well do it now. And I end up going down for it. I should have just tanked that gadget bomb, but it is what it is. I did force their Shinbi to back, which, that's helpful. But, that was a poor choice. I definitely should have just absorbed that damage. And, the engagement definitely wasn't worth it. But hopefully that did relieve enough pressure to actually, kind of free my team up, and you can see they've actually started counter pushing, so that was a great option. And it also lets me put on that Ancestral Leap, which I used to use Blink all the time on Countess. Since I haven't played Countess really at all lately, I don't know if this is even really viable or if you should go for more damage, but, Blink is always a fun card to use anyways, so hopefully we can make some plays with it. Now, I am going to look to see if river buffs are up. I actually head over and check both river buffs, and if you listen, you actually heard that Shinbi. So I'm going to, engage on the Shinbi. I should be able to delete her, and once Grux shows up, yeah, we're actually able to take her out. Now, Gadget does show up, and Sevarog's right behind me, so I need to get out. You can see I take tons and tons of damage, and I'm just not able to quite do it. I should have turned and actually used my Shadow Slip to dodge that bomb, but with 3 people chasing me, it probably wasn't worth it, and I need to rely on my team to collapse on that. We did take out Shinbi, which, she's a pretty big threat. Would have been nice not to die, but hey, we did take out their carry in essence, so we kind of did the job that we're supposed to. I am starting to kind of do these trade kills with deaths, and that is not something I would like to do. I would definitely like to, kind of get some more farm and stay in lane, things like that, but it is what it is. Now, once I do get back to lane, I notice there's a fight going down in that off lane. Iggy's there, kind of hanging out. I'm actually able to wrap up that Severog fairly easily, and I go ahead and ult Shimby. We're able to take her out as well. So, great plays all around. Our Iggy is doing a great job. Iggy's a pretty tough hero to deal with if you're not having a ranged hero, and that's a great counter pick since they did not pick a ranged carry. So, hey, no problem at all. We end up, heading over to that mid lane, and we're able to take out Gadget pretty unaware. And we didn't even have to use that Shadow Dancer. It was on cooldown, but yeah, we did, we had some success with that. Now, Iggy is here. I'm going to use my Shadow Slip paired with that Grux's smash and grab. He's not going anywhere. We're able to take him out as well. And from here, we should be able to take this mid inhib. Now, we do have to be very careful with Aurora here. We can expect an ultimate, but I need to stay and try to deal with the tower. Now, I do end up popping my Shadow Dancer, and with that paired with, just the amount of damage we were doing, we were able to down that tower. Now, Shimby does have a couple of stacks on me, and she uses her ultimate, but she is not quite fed enough to absolutely delete me, as well as, she only had 3 stacks on me, and, hey, we get out. Now, you see Severog is chasing our Murdoch, and I'm doing everything I can to head over there. I did not realize he was still caught out. We do end up heading to that mid. Our Severog dealt with their Severog, so, hey, great all around. This is a really good time for me to back, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then just, again, head to that mid lane. We don't have to really worry about mid lane too much because it is naturally going to set itself. Now, I do kind of juke out this Shimby just a little bit, but, we do have some collapse, and Grux was saying, hey, I'm heading over there, we can deal with her, and sure enough, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to use my Shadow Slip to slow her down, and then, I end up taking her out. Now, she did end up, dashing right into that wall. Again, our Shimby is new. I think this was the first match that he's ever played with her. So, we are trying out new heroes, things like that. Again, this is really just a fun match and, try to learn a few things. So, we're having a great match and, it's, well, a lot of fun. Again, if you'd like to join in on this every Sunday at 2 o'clock, join our Discord and feel free, guys. Now, this is a great opportunity to show the kind of indecisiveness when you want to make a play. Now, right now is a perfect time to go for Prime. And I go ahead and tell everybody, hey, let's go for Prime. We need everybody here. For one thing, I'm Countess. I can't take a whole lot of damage. Even with, a few heroes there, Prime is going to do quite a bit of damage to me. So we need some actual rotation. Now, Grux says, hey, I'm going to go set the safe lane. And our Severog is in the enemy jungle, and he just is taking a little too long to rotate over. Now, they do know we are here, and you can see, their Severog is right here. I'm going to go ahead and engage on him. We should be able to take him out, and, from here, we decide, hey, we're all here, let's go for Prime, and the problem with this, though, is now the entire enemy team knows we're here. They know what we're doing, and you see everybody's collapsing on us. Even though we do get a couple of kills, things like that, it's kind of a bit of an issue, and they actually end up stealing Prime. So, instead of actually rotating over when we had the opportunity, we waited around, which we did end up taking 3 of them out for just me going down. But the issue is, now we have a little bit of a health issue on our team, and at the same time, they have Prime, so they're going to be able to stay in lane, and we really lose the upper hand to actually push and, in the game. So when you decide as a team to go for Prime, you need to do it then. Waiting just causes more of an issue. And another thing you can do, instead of actually going for Prime, we could have just baited Prime. And that would have allowed the enemy team to show up, us get those 3 kills, and then pick up Prime. Now that they stole Prime, it's going to be much harder for us to siege the way we want to. Now, once I do spawn back in, I'm going to head down mid lane. You know, mid lane is just such an easy lane because you can split off and rotate where you need to be. And sure enough, our Arrg is getting into a fight in the enemy jungle, so I'm going to head over there and help secure that kill. Now, of course, you know, I'm able to secure that kill, I'm counting. So I end up actually using my Shadow Dancer, and I'm going to head down mid lane, and we get a couple of really quick kills on this Iggy and Gadget. But the thing I want to talk about is this Shimby. Now, if you see here, Shimby heads in, you know, I've got a ton of stacks on me, so I go ahead, use that Shadow Slip, and then rewind when Shimby uses her ultimate, and I negate all the damage from Shimby by doing that. And that is something that, you know, that's something that you can do as Countess. You can negate a ton of damage with Countess and ultimates, things like that. You know, Steel, the Richter, you know, all the hard CC ultimates will absolutely delete Countess. So by being able to negate that type of damage, you can, you know, really turn a fight around. And, you know, I just definitely wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. But this is going to kind of wrap this match up, guys. This was a lot of fun. We end up 17-6-2, so, you know, we died a handful of times, but I am a little rusty with Countess. We had a great match, and this was a lot of fun. You know, I really enjoy doing these Sunday Fun Day matches, and I hope y'all enjoy doing them as well, and I hope y'all learn something from them. So, I'm going to continue doing them, guys, and again, if you want to join, feel free. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for all the Pirate Crew members. You know, it's a lot of fun playing with y'all, and I want to definitely play with more of y'all. Well, if you did enjoy this video, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Join our Discord if you haven't done it so. There's a link right here, one in the description, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.